Brotherhood in Battlefields, a French trip to Gettysburg. The road to Gettysburg stretched out beneath the autumn sun, framed by rolling hills painted in shades of what appeared as gold and rust. Four friends, Mike, Lee, Bob, and Joe, and Lee's son, Nick, joined us. We drove our vehicles along the quiet highway, the laughter in the car echoing memories from decades past. High school buddies, we were now in our late 50s, scattered by life's responsibilities and time's steady pull. Careers, families, and obligations had carved distance between us, but this trip was a promise to us all, a reunion rooted in history, brotherhood, and the desire to remember what still connected us after all these years. Our destination, Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, was more than a place on the map. It was a touchstone of American history, a reminder of courage, sacrifice, and the cost of division. For us four men, it was also a place where we could reflect on the battles we had fought in our own lives, the quiet ones that never made it into textbooks. As we walked across the hollowed fields, the crisp air carried the weight of stories from 1863. We listened to the guide describe troop movements, bravery under fire, and the turning tide of the Civil War. Each man felt something stir inside him: respect, awe, and an awareness of how fragile unity and the human race can be. Joe found himself narrating bits of the past to help us understand what took place on the battlefield. Bob stood silently before the moments, his eyes tracing the names of the fallen. Mike felt a quick kinship with the soldiers who never made it home, and Lee lightened the mood with the stories from our high school days, reminding us that life, despite its battles, still had room for laughter. In the evenings, we gathered at a small inn near the battlefield, sipping coffee and talking into the night. We reminisced about the good old days, football games, dances, heartbreaks, and the dreams that once seemed endless. But our conversations also turned to what we had learned from life's most difficult years, the mistakes, the regrets, and the gratitude that only comes with age. Sitting together, they realized that brotherhood wasn't something lost to time. It was something that had simply matured, like the men we have become. Before heading home, we visited Little Round Top one last time. The wind swept across the hill, carrying the faint hum of the past. We stood silent for a moment, then shared a smile that needed no words. Gettysburg had given us more than history lessons. It had given us perspective. The trip reminded us that friendship, like freedom, must be tended and cherished. As the trip came to an end and we drove away, the setting sun bathed the fields in a warm, forgiving light. We didn't talk much, but the laughter had softened into content quiet. We knew we would return to our separate lives, but something in us had been restored. We had come to learn about a war that once divided this nation and left with a deeper understanding of what holds people together, especially for us four men. Oh yeah, and I believe Nick enjoyed hanging out with us old men too.